What's up, fish tank people on YouTube and fishtanktv.com. For those of you that have not had a chance to visit fishtanktv.com, please feel free to come and join us, share in your experiences, good and bad, as we share our experiences and knowledge, good and bad, with you. Which leads to this next video. Recently I uploaded a bunch of pictures to fishtanktv.com of how my plants and my fish were looking. And the fish were great, plants were awesome. That was 3 weeks ago. I did a little experiment. This is how it turned out. This is 130 gallon planted. Fish are looking a little bit rough. The plants have exploded. There's barely enough room for the fish to swim. I'm going to show you how it got to this condition. Recently, listening to a few videos from YouTube and fishtanktv.com, we learned from Dustin, who talked to a CCAM person that said plants will uptake up to 400 times more iron through their root system than they do through their stems and leaves. After hearing that, it kind of rung in my mind and I kept thinking about it. Then I seen a video on aquaponics where a man used chelated iron in his system to bring back the green in the growth of his gardening plants. So I thought, well, if that works in an aquaponics system and they have fish in the aquaponics system, then maybe I should be able to use iron in my system. And this is what I did. I took red clay, rolled it out flat like a piece of paper. I used a rolling pin. Don't tell my wife I used her rolling pin, she'll kill me. Rolled it out flat, then I sprinkled this iron all on top of the clay. Pressed it in, then I rolled it up into a shape like this. Then I cut it into the little slivers. Then I took the slivers and I put them all throughout the substrate. And my thought behind with that was, if it was encapsulated inside the clay, that it would slow release and the plants would absorb the iron. Well, it released a little faster than what I thought. And again, the tank is a mess. I have to get busy and clean it up. There's my beauty. Anyway, the iron product that I got, I searched high and low for it. I couldn't find anything called chelated or chelated iron. This is called some fast-acting iron plus. And I did use just a small amount, but apparently it's pretty strong, and that's what led to this mess. So we're gonna do a cleanup of the tank, do a lot of trimming, do a major water change, and I'll show you what I do with the cuttings and what the tank looks like after I do the water change, and that will be on the next video. While I still have the camera rolling, I'm going to show you underneath. Please make sure, if you have small children, like I have grandchildren that come over all the time and they're very curious, I keep the cabinets strung up so they can't get in there. And the reason why is because there is all kinds of chemicals that are dangerous to them. This is all my testing supplies for the water, pH, chemistry. And I have all the chemicals, plant foods, fish foods, all kinds of stuff that the kids don't need to mess with. Milwaukee pH controller, temperature. The silver stainless steel tube deal right back there is a commercial grade ultraviolet sterilizer that I picked up out of the dumpster at a major retailer. They were throwing away a Mars system, and I got 2 of those and a few other goodies. Anyway, this is one side. On this door I keep scissors, nets, a chart, keep a record of my conditions of the water, pH, KH, GH, ammonia, all that good stuff. On this side is where my FX5 filter is at. Nets. I have a dowsing system, which on the top is a bottle of diluted plant food which is pumped one time a day, and I believe it's 7 o'clock in the morning. It's on a timer. It'll pump about 15 seconds of this solution that I pre-mix up into the tank. So that's how I feed my plants on a daily basis, along with this iron that I just threw in there. But when we come back, I'll show you how everything turns out. Remember, keep it locked up if you got small children around. Be back shortly. Hello YouTubers and FishTankTV.com. As I promised, I was going to do a cutting of the tank and show you what it looks like after the cutting and show you how many plants I take out. This is the tank, freshly cut. Fish already have a lot more room to swim, look a lot more happier. And these are all the plants that I took out of the tank. Bucket 1, bucket number 2, and bucket number 3. What I plan to do with these is take them downstairs to a holding tank where I'm going to be growing them out more and selling them to a fish tank store. And I'm also going to set up some 10-gallon aquariums outside and let nature do its thing. No power, no heat, no nothing. Just going to let the sun and the water do its thing.
Every day and every season of the year. So she tried arthritis and funny name, and it literally says on the box the snot sucker. It's the nose screener. How did it work? It was awesome. We absolutely loved it. I can't say enough good things about it. It's a little scary because it's gross. You put it's gonna go by. See, it's gonna go by. One piece up to the child's nose, not in it, which is awesome. Nothing goes in her nose. Right up to it, and then to get the snot out, I have to put a piece in my mouth, and literally I go with a sucking motion. There's a filter. There's a little filter that I actually have right here, a little loose filter.
You guys hungry? Dang, you'd think I never fed them. Fish Tank people on YouTube and FishTankTV.com. This is Chuck again with the 130-gallon planted aquarium project down here in the dungeon of my castle. This is where I keep my RO unit. Right now it's just sitting on the floor. It's a Spectra Pure, and I have it set up so it goes up into a big water tank that's high up in the air so I can use gravity to feed my tanks that are downstairs. What I really hate is water changes. And the reason I did this is to make my hobby a little bit easier for me to manage. Inside this tank I put a sump pump, and I ran a line and a power cord all the way upstairs to the big 130-gallon tank. And I'm going to block this off just for a second while I go upstairs because my dungeon is a wreck. I got really tired of carrying around 5-gallon pails of water just to do a water change from the store. So I decided to come up with this system to make the hobby just a little bit easier for me. What I do is I just grab my little Power cord right here. Lug her in. And out comes my RO water from the dungeon. And that's how I cap off this tank. One time I'll use RO water, the next time I'll use well water.